weirdo of the flock. Welcome to the most offensive church this side of the universe, the Party Pen. And what we do here in this most amazing place, we read this great ass book. It's called God Said, because I did not fucking say that. This is God's me, God right now in God voice. It's my unofficial biography, Das Bible, as read by
Yours truly, the Saint of Awesome, your Superstone Sage, Saint Nikki K the Great, haha, and I am wonderful. Clap for me, I clap for you. Welcome, haha, we all look like seals, having good time. Yeah, so we are in the book of Samuel, reading about the wonderful David, right? And we're learning about God. So, God is in his spaceship. I'm chasing after him. He's waiting for us all to get in and get buckled up so we can go to the desert and see David. Yeah, it's good time. So, where did I? Okay, so I think, yeah, David was becoming king of Israel and Judah, and the Philistines found out about it and was like, wasn't he just fighting with us like a second ago? I don't know. Something happened, but anyway, we got to go kill this guy because reasons. Yeah, we're going to do it. So, of course, that did not happen. And David won. Uh, then they tried to go again. And David was like, God, what do you want to do? And God's like, we're going to get them in the rear. It's going to be great. Something, words and things. But, anyways, this battle plan was God's. So they went with God's battle plan and they won. So that was the thing that happened. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened. So if you want to find out what happens next, come this way. I have everything you need to have good time. I have cannabis. I have cigarettes. I have coffee. I have chairs with your name on it. I have cat beds and canine space so you can bring your animals and have a good time. Yes, that is a thing. So come on. I got everything you need. Oh, we should have a song or something. Oh, hey, Robert. How are you? Hold on one second and I'm going to read this. I can't see very good. Hold on. Words and things. Yes, there you go, Robert. Good deal. We'll put that right up there. Yeah, thank you so much. You're like the salesman for, like, come and get it right now. Get the blood. Yeah, you were like totally pumped up about that shit. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. We got it right up here on screen. And I can't move it to a different place. So it's gotta be right there. Or can I move it to a different place? No, I can't move it to a different place. So it's gotta be right there. Yeah, you can do it right now. But with that being said, we are on chapter 6 of 2nd Samuel. It's good. So let's find out. Okay. And again, David gathered all the choice men of Israel, 30,000. And David went with all the people who were with him from Baal, Judah, to bring up from there God's suitcase chair, whose name is called by the name the Lord of hosts, who dwells between the cherubim. Actually, he writes piggyback on that thing. Like, God seriously is writing piggyback on that thing. Yep, he is. It's a thing that happened. So they set God's suitcase chair on a new cart and brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was on the hill. And Uziah and Ahio drove the new cart. And they brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was on the hill, accompanying God's suitcase chair. And Ahio went first. Then David and all of these terrible ass people played music before the Lord on all kinds of instruments of fir wood, on harps, on stringed instruments, on tabourines, on sistrums and cymbals. So they was partying with God the whole time. See, that's what I'm saying. God and David, they were party animals. They wanted music all the time. God's favorite thing is music. So it's like, yay. See, David is getting down with God. They're on the same wavelength. I'm not saying David has God level logic, but what I'm saying is God God gave himself David level logic so he could have a good time with the music. What am I reading? 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 6. 2 Samuel 6:6. Yeah. But right now we're talking about how God and David are jamming, you know, because they're bringing God's suitcase chair out of the one guy's place and they're trying to take it to where David is going. And so right now they're like having a blast, like playing music. And I'm kind of wondering if it was like some kind of string death metal, like do 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 do, God's suitcase chair, something like that. No problem. Are you reading along? Because just know sometimes I wander off and just say what I think it means. I ad lib a lot. So forgive me ahead of time. So anyway, they're playing like this badass music, bringing God's suitcase chair out of Abinadab's house. And when they came to Nashon's threshing floor, Uziah put out his hand to God's suitcase chair and took hold of it, for the oxen stumbled. Then the anger of the Lord was aroused against Uziah, and God struck him there for his error, and he died there by the suitcase chair. And David became angry, and he was like, the fuck did you do that for? Listen, God, we was partying and we was having a good time, and then this thing started to stumble and he tried to hold it. It was a whole thing. But if you're just going to be dickish like that, then I'm not even taking this to my house because I am highly irresponsible. And maybe I want to see your special rocks. How about that? Look, nobody wants to see your rocks. I mean, okay, maybe they do want to see your rocks, but nobody wants to see them while we're having a parade. Why would you do that? Look, look, look. We got a problem right now. So and wait, what did it arouse? And David was afraid of the Lord that day. And he said, no, no, I'm not even taking it. No, it's going to go to the house of Obed Edom. God's suitcase chair remained at Obed Edom's house 3 months, and the Lord blessed him and all his house. Now it was told to David, saying, okay, so David was scrolling Instagram. Okay, and Obed Edom is like taking selfies. He's got like this huge garden and new teeth and new clothes and a brand new car and all this stuff. David's looking at it on ancient Instagram, and he's getting more and more jealous by the second. Like, all this should be mine. I don't know why God's doing this for this guy right here. It's probably to make me jealous, but I'm telling you what, I'm totally jealous. I'm going to get God. Look, I'm going to get God's suitcase chair because he ain't making me jealous. I'm going to make it so he can't make me jealous. Yep. Okay. So David went on Instagram and told the people on Instagram how he made this special place for the ark, and he needed to take, well, God's suitcase chair, and he needed to take it back, and it needed to be with him because he made this special place for it. So David goes down there and takes God's suitcase chair. But everybody is so happy because David's happy. So they just have a parade with David. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Now saying okay. And he went from the house to the city of David. And it was when bearing God's suitcase chair, he had gone 6 spaces, then sacrificed oxen and fatted sheep. Then David danced before the Lord uh, with all his might. And David, so David did a striptease on God's suitcase chair. Like, he was dancing and they was playing music and there was a parade and he was just feeling himself, all the way feeling himself, right? So he's buck ass naked in an ephod doing dances for the Lord on his suitcase chair. This is real life. I swear to God, on everything I love. And you're just about to find out in just a second. But David was naked as fuck, dancing in a parade on God's suitcase chair in nothing but a hat. And and remember, David looks like Jason Statham in the face, but with Brock Lesnar's body. So he is like a specimen of a man and he's buck ass naked dancing. Okay. So David and all these people brought up God's suitcase chair with shouting and the sound of the trumpet. Now, as God's suitcase chair came into the city of David, Michelle, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw David leaping and whirling before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart. So they brought God's suitcase chair and set it in the place in the middle of the church. Oh, God's tent. So David went and got God's tent, God's bachelor pad, and set it up in his backyard, and then put the ark or God's suitcase chair back in his bachelor pad. And we're gonna get to that in just a second. Don't even worry about it, because God has a real problem with all of this stuff. But we don't find that out for a little bit. Then David offered burnt and peace offerings before the Lord. And when David had finished offering his burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people. Then he gave them all a sandwich and a cake. So all the people departed, everyone to his house. Then David returned to bless his household. And Michelle, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, "You must have felt really good dancing butt ass naked. Like no one needs to see your man meat. It's not that spectacular." And he's like, "My man meat is the best man meat." And she's like, "And these people don't have to see it." And he's like, "Check out my man meat. Shut up." Is exactly what he said. "You're bothering me, woman." Okay. So, yeah. And then he's like, and she's like, "And you were dancing naked." And David was like, "It was for God. I can dance naked for God." And she's like, "No, actually, you can't." He said, "I can do whatever I want because I'm literally king. I could be buck ass naked for the rest of my kingship. What does it matter to you?" And then she's like, "You're fucking gross." And he's like, "And you love it." And that's the end of that chapter. I apologize. So, um, Miss, I don't know how to say that word. Can I call you, uh, Miss? Can I just call you Miss? Because I don't know how to say that word. Mm, Mist. Mistithment. No, it's nipped. Mistithum. I don't know that word. Anyway, but what did you think? I really don't know how to say that word. Hopefully, it didn't scare you away with my brashness. But this is an offensive church, kind of the thing. Mhm. But I do know what I want to do. How many minutes? Oh, we're only at like 20 minutes. Mist is fine. Oh, Mist in the Mountain. Oh, okay. Then no wonder I couldn't say that word. Yeah, and David was a party animal, but that I don't know. God is also a party animal in this story. They have so much fun. And reading this story, it's kind of like we're having fun with them because it is such a giggly story. There was it you that came in yesterday and was talking about David being a great story also? I can't remember, but it might have been you. I hope it was you because I seriously don't remember who it was. And hi, by the way, I am Nikki. I am the Bible lady or the sage, whichever, it doesn't much matter. And I happen to be a saint of awesome. So it's nice to meet you if I didn't meet you yesterday. And I have a lot of brain injuries and I think I can talk to God. So that's what's wrong with me, in case you were wondering. All right, let's go on to chapter 7. Okay. Now, it came to pass when the king was dwelling in his house, and the Lord had given him rest from all his enemies, that the king said to Nathan the prophet, now I don't know if this Nathan the prophet is his son or if it's a different Nathan, because he also has a son named Nathan. Oh, yeah, you stayed. Yay. Okay. See now. I got this. I got this house and it's so bum diggity. And I didn't even have to build it. Other people built it for me. And it's so wonderful. And you see all this nice stuff that I have. Yeah, well, God should have a house. Can I build God a house? And Nathan's like, I don't see why not. Right. So Nathan's like, go ahead. Now it happened that night that the Lord came to Nathan and was like,
Yo, dude, wake up! I need you to say something. I need you to say words to David that he cannot build me a house. I am not retiring, and he can eat shit. I like couch surfing, and I'm not ready to retire. I don't care what he said. I'm not old enough for retirement. So he cannot build me a house. Maybe one of his other sons can down the road build me a house, but he's not building me a house because I'm not retiring.
so, uh, so, no, where the fuck? What happened? No, go. I'm, I don't want to retire. Don't build me a house. I haven't dwelt in a house. See, I want to couch surf. You cannot build me a house. I want to couch surf. When have I ever asked to live anywhere? So say to David, Oh, yeah. And then you got to tell David.
Tell him, I took you from the sheepfold, from following the sheep, to be ruler over my people, these terrible ass people. And I have been with you wherever you have gone, and have cut off all your enemies from before you. And I have made you a great name, like the name of great men who are on the earth. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people and will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own and move no more, nor shall the sons of wickedness oppress them anymore. Since the time that I commanded judges to be over these people, and have caused you rest from all your enemies, the Lord tells you that he will make you a house. And then when you die, I will let your son build me a house. But not until then, and I'm not retiring. I have never asked for a place to live, and I never will ask for a place to live. You know, so stop trying to force me into retirement. I've got things to do, man. Okay, I took it. And yeah, so I'm not going to retire. And your house and your kingdom will be established forever before you. Your throne shall be established forever according to these words and this vision. So,
So Nathan told that to David. He's not retiring and he's been couch surfing for a long time and he likes it. So that's that. Okay. And King David went in and sat before the Lord, and he said, Why? Why? All I want to do is give you a place to live. I'm not asking you for anything else. I just wanted to give you a place to live because you deserve something than some old guy's couch that smells like beer and pee. You deserve more than that. A, because you're God, and B, because you're a God who does that. I know you do. I get it, but just thinking about that makes my eyes itch. Who does that? Why do you want to sleep on couches? I'll just buy you a couch and then you can sleep on your own couch. It'll even be a hide a bed. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why you won't let me build you a house. You know, like it's in my heart to build you a house. Like I want to do nice things for you because you're fantastic and whatnot. But you're making it very hard. Look, and I understand there's no one like you. You are an enigma, an anomaly, and omni, whatever that word is. You're that omnipresent and potent, whatever those two words. I know you're both of those things probably. And, and also, you are great. And we know this. And that's why I want to give you a house. I not so much retire. I know you're not ready for that, even though it is time to retire. But, but we won't even force that subject right now. But you do need a place to live because you smell like old man couch. Yeah. It's a thing that's happening right now, and you need a place to live. Now, the word which you have spoken concerning your servant and his house, establish forever and do what you have said. So let your name be magnified forever, saying, the Lord of hosts is God over Israel. We have good time. And let the house of your servant David be established before you. For you, O Lord of hosts, God of Israel, have revealed this to your servant, saying, I will build you a house. Therefore, your servant has found it in his heart to pray this prayer to you. Okay, so this is a prayer. Oh, Lord God, you are God, and your words are true, and you have promised this goodness to your servant. Now, therefore, let it please you to bless the house of your servant, that it may continue before you forever. For you, O Lord God, have spoken it, and with your blessing, let the house of your servant be blessed forever. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so, Miss, do you think I think David was trying to get God to retire, because God is being a little testy, because he's going around killing people because he thinks things. I think David's like, okay, it's time to retire, old man. It's time to settle down. And God isn't even thinking of settling down at this point. He's not even thinking about having a kid at this point. He's still in his bachelor phase. He wants to live with his friends and couch surf on his homie's couch. Damn, I suck at life. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Now, it came to pass. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Why is it like that? Hold on. Okay. Now, after this, it came to pass that David attacked the Philistines and subdued them. And David took Metheg Ammah from the hand of the Philistines. I don't know what that is. Then he defeated Moab first forcing them down to the ground. He measured them off with a line, with 2 lines. Oh, shit. Okay. This is going to take some thinking. Well, not thinking, but actual paying attention because, well, I don't. It's going to take some reading. After this, it came to pass that David attacked the Philistines and subdued them, and he took Metheg Ammah from the hand of the Philistines. Then he defeated Moab, forcing them down to the ground. He measured them off with a line. With 2 lines, he measured off those to be put to death, and with 1 full line, those to be kept alive. So the Moabites became David's servants and brought tribute. So he like killed half of them and kept half alive. That's crazy. But it's about to get crazier. Yep. Do you know this story, miss? Well, it might be this story or a different story. But either way it goes, when David gets involved in violent things, weird things happen. I don't know. It's like he goes overboard or something. He's like, you know what? God's got my back. Let me go all out. I'm going to be all kinds of extra. Okay. With 2 lines, he measured to be put to death. And with 1 full line, those to be kept alive. So the Moabites brought him tribute. David also defeated Hazanezer, king of Zobah, as he went to recover his territory at the river of Euphrates. David took from him 1,000 chariots, 700 horsemen, and 20,000 foot soldiers. Also, David hamstrung all the horses. Why? Leave the horses alone. Why? Why does he got to do this to the horses? No one knows. But he spared enough of them for 100 chariots. Damn. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to help Hadanezer, David killed 22,000 Syrians. Then David put garrisons in Syria of Damascus, and the Syrians became David's servants and brought tribute. So the Lord preserved David wherever he went. And David took the shields of gold that had belonged to the servants of Hadanezer and brought them to Jewland, also from Betah and Beerothai, cities of Hadanezer. King David took a large amount of bronze. When Toi, king of Hamath, heard that David had defeated all the army of Hadanezer, then Toi sent Joram his son to greet him and bless him because he had fought against Hadanezer and defeated him. And Joram brought with him articles of silver and gold, articles of bronze. King David also dedicated these things to the Lord, along with the silver and gold that he had dedicated from all the nations he had subdued. from Syria, Moab, Ammon, the Philistines, Amalek, Hadnezer, and David made himself a name when he returned from killing 18,000 Syrians in the Valley of Salt. He also put garrisons in Edom. All through Edom, he put garrisons, and all the Edomites became David's servants. And the Lord preserved David wherever he reigned for all three ministers to all his people. Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was over the army. Josaphat was a recorder. Zadok and Ahimelech were priests, and Sarasiah was a scribe. Benaniah was over both the Cherethites and the Pelethites, and David's sons were chief ministers. He hands down. Oh, okay. I understand that voice to type shit. It is so difficult. Hamstrung. Yeah, but does that mean he killed them, or did he just cut their feet and leave them alive? They're miserable. That's so terrible. I hate the sound of that. I'm just gonna imagine he killed them. Because could you imagine laying there with your Achilles tendon bleeding to death? Oh, that would be terrible. So, are you enjoying this reading, Misty? Because I am having a fucking blast. I am. I am actually having a good time. David is my favorite story. Well, Ahab is also a really good story, but I don't remember what book that's in. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll read chapter 9. This is my favorite. Actually, not this one. The next one where David tries to be. Hold on, I'll explain it. Okay. So, chapter 9. Now David said, is there anyone who is left in the house of Saul? Because I need to be kind. I was talking to my therapist, and my therapist said, I spend a lot of time being violent, so maybe I should spend a little time doing something nice. So I thought to myself, doesn't one of Saul's sons have kids? There has to be somebody. I don't remember really seeing any of Saul's people dead. Because the Philistines didn't even come in. man, that's so sad. Man, that's so sad. See, I'm gonna picture that they all died. Oh, I couldn't imagine laying there like that. Oh, that'd be terrible. Okay. So David's like, my therapist said I need to learn to be nice. And I don't remember any of Saul's people being killed. So there has to be somebody. And there was a servant of the house of Saul whose name was Ziba. So when they called him to David, the king was like, are you Ziba? And Ziba's like, um, yes. And he's like, good. David's like, yeah, awesome. So does Saul have any family? Because again, I don't remember seeing anybody dead. So there has to be somebody. And Ziba's like, uh, there is a son of Jonathan, but he broke his ankles and then nobody made him move again. So his feet atrophied. So now he is really lame in his feet because his bones atrophied. Well, I mean, his feet muscle atrophied. So the king said, where is he? And Ziba said, uh, he's at the maid's house. Then King David sent and brought him out of the house. Now, Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, had come to David, did the face thing, and then David said, Mephi, and he's like, yep. And then David said, get up, you're fine. I am learning how to be kind. So we're going to be kind to you because it's very important. Because I loved your dad. He was my bosom buddy, my bestie. Oh my God. It's lightning outside right now. Wow. I hope my raccoons ate their food before it rained. Okay. So then David's like, yeah, I'm going to be nice to you because I need to. So you will eat bread at my table continually. Then he did the face thing and said, uh, why? And David's like, because your dad was my bosom buddy. Duh, didn't I just tell you that? And the king called to Ziba and said, I give your master's son all that belonged to Saul and his house. You, therefore, and your sons and your servants will work on the land for him, and you shall bring in the harvest, that your sons, your master's son, may have food to eat. But Mephibosheth shall eat bread at my table always. Now Ziba had 15 sons and 20 servants. Then Ziba said to the king, okay, whatever you want, I will do. As for Mephibosheth, said the king, he will eat at my table like one of my sons. Now, Mephi had a young son whose name was Micah, and all who dwelt in the house of Ziba were servants of Mephi. So Mephi dwelt in Jewland, and he ate continually at the king's table, and he was lame in both feet. Dun dun dun. Okay. So What do you like most about the story of David, Misty? Oh, I'm dropping things, dropping science. No, what's your favorite thing about David? I meant this one. Okay. Hi, everybody. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, follow. Give me all the red pills and the gold pills. Don't give me any purple pills or blue pills. Give me red pills. Okay. So we're almost at an hour. So let's start winding down to go ahead and go to bed. Damn. Dun, 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 dun. Nothing. 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 Okay. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and give the pillow some head. Put some lipstick on. Put a ring on it. Get all over your face. And then get your sheets. The best ass on the planet. And then have the sweetest fucking dreams ever. I love you guys so much. Goo.